While Star Citizen aims to offer a first-person universe of possibilities, at the center of it has always been you and your spaceship. And over the years of development, testing, feedback, and iteration, there have been many changes to the combat and traversal experience. And in the upcoming Alpha 323, the biggest and most anticipated of those makes their presence known with the arrival of Master Modes. And with that comes additional changes to precision targeting, weapon balance, gimbal use, and more.
What are Master Modes?
The new thing that everyone hates. I mean, they wanted to get rid of the realism because it's creating weird things like tricording. They wanted to slow things down. They wanted to get things closer. And they still want to keep the sweaty PvP boys happy. That's what Master Mode is.
So Master Mode is a way for us to really kind of capitalise on what the ships are.
We spend millions of dollars making these high detail things. No one can see them. How about like a UI element so that we can see how fast we're closing? So we can actually slow down and see the ships. Instead of a number that's scrolling, which I have to count off so I know the ticking of it, so I know the rate of it.
Basically, Master Modes are a new game feature that
I swear I just saw like fucking
change all the combat experience inside the game.
So you'll have a mode for fighting in and a mode for flying from place to place then.
Yay! Get some queer rep finally. Well, we've got what's the main guy called? Who is with the flight suit with the Pride rainbow? He does really. I mean, he's like the major physics guy or game physics guy. Game physics is not the same. Yeah, I keep seeing like fucking that. Please go away, Tucker Carlson. Oh, you don't see? Oh yeah, you can just see my overlay a little bit through my head.
Rework of the flight and combat system to essentially try and solve a lot of the problems that players have had with the flight experience.
You can decide if you want to be in full combat mode, or you're just in transit, or you want to get out of a situation as quick as possible.
Check fire. Master Mode is the thing that makes ship combat exciting and making sure that the ships that you have in the game perform in the roles that we have envisioned for them.
Did they say his name? Because I should know. No.
You're just in transit, or you want to get out of a situation as quick as possible.
Check fire. Master Mode is the thing that makes ship combat exciting and making sure that the ships that you have in the...
I like this guy. I mean, not just because he's gay, but... They didn't say who all's here. Okay.
The game perform in the roles that we have envisioned for them.
For those of you who are not old, the reference there is Master Blaster, which was a character in, I think, Return of the Thunderdome, the third Mad Max trilogy with Tina Turner in it. And also check out this one-handed. I've got too many free hands while I'm flying, so I'm just going to rest one on the side. Is that what's happening here? Chill shooting vibe, because I've got a grip that moves like left to right.
Since CitizenCon, we've been bringing Master Mode into Arena Commander.
Progress has been quite good, showing off the new modes and letting people get their hands on it.
Collecting the feedback, seeing how players respond to that online by monitoring how players react on social channels. We've been testing internally a lot.
It's a very limited selection of ships, but even so, people seem to like it. So we've taken that feedback and...
Tell us the numbers. Like in D&D, what's it called? When they have their playtest, Unearthed Arcana, they're like, if we don't get 70% on a Unearthed Arcana, 70% approval number, we need to rework it. Whereas this is just like, people seem to like it, and then other guy was like, shaved head guy, everyone has shaved heads, he's like, the players are happy with it. Give us numbers. They have data, give us numbers.
Making progress and adapting it all to the rest of the ships as well.
We've been watching how players play the game, monitoring analytics, putting it all together and sharing it with the devs who need to see it.
So he's not a dev, he's in the analytics team, I guess. Full-time hitman. I feel like, help me get affiliate, please. Who's saying that? Well, sure, I'll help you get affiliate.
How the hell do you know about converting 200 chips to vehicles?
Unfortunately, there's only really one way to do it, and that's to not get too intimidated.
This is also not true, because we're about to find out that they're creating archetypes so that they can pretty much slap down numbers for every ship and then tweak them from there.
Intimidated by the number, team effort. We're just cracking through it, really.
The difficult part, of course, especially as a designer, is try to understand the new game dynamics that the game system creates, especially in an environment like the PU, and then try to being able to deliver the proper game experience for every ship with a different tuning. And that's quite difficult, but that's also what is really interesting about bringing up a new feature.
So we're moving each individual ship into an archetype, and we're going to rebalance that ship.
It's not like you haven't done this before and nerfed everything and flattened the playing field before, so do it and stop.
To the archetype as a starting point, and then basically once that's complete, we're going to add the individuality into each ship.
Each ship has been given a full refresh, and we've looked at every ship in the game, assigned them a base archetype so that you know what you're getting into from the get-go.
All ships, based on how big they are and what kind of purpose they serve, will get an archetype assigned to them. A typical archetype is a snub fighter. Very, very small, very agile, but it cannot dish out a lot of damage, and it can also not receive a lot of damage before it pops. Light fighter. Very maneuverable, decent.
It's interesting that you said pops, because aren't we going away from popping and more like crumbling?
Weapon loadout, and it's basically there for agility engagements. Medium fighter. Pretty agile for its size, but it has a lot more offensive.
What is he in here? I'm curious. Oh, Super Hornet.
It's basically there for agility engagements. Medium fighter.
Hornet.
Pretty agile for its size, but it has a lot more offensive firepower.
Target destroyed.
Heavy fighter.
So what's the downside? Pretty agility. So we might end up with a bit of a medium fight meta. We're in a medium fight meta. Medium fighter meta. Because the Hornet.
They don't maneuver well, but when you happen to be at the front of them, you can die very, very fast. Now, these are basic tuning archetypes that we have for our fighter ships class, and all ships in that size will be assigned to one of these things. However, based on the ship and what the purpose of the ship is, we have variations of that. For example,
he sounds a bit stressed, right? Like, he sounds like I don't want to say defensive, but either like he's explained this before, or he's anticipating some kind of blowback. You know what I mean? Like, there's something else in his voice besides the need for clarity.
We have the interceptor variant of these tunings. This is a tuning variation that can apply to any of these archetypes. And
this is nice. This is good game design. It's tags, basically, right?
Interceptor tuning for a ship means that this ship exchanges the agility. With agility, we mean the rotation rate and the lateral strafing accelerations simply for speed. So they will not be able to turn their velocity vector much. They will not be able to rotate much. But
it's the Buccaneer,
they
right? So don't fuck with the Buck.
Will be very, very fast just going forward. Racing ships are like the base archetype that almost all racers ended up with so far are interceptors, because racers prefer speed over everything else. But you want to pick the right racer for the right track. The other end of the range are our, let's call them fighter-bomber tunings.
So, okay, right racer for the right track. We're not only thinking of the Razor and the Fury. Fury's gonna be more agile, right? It's interesting that there's Snub, because to me Snub was always, doesn't have a quantum drive. Huh. Is the Pisces a snub? Snub is a weird word.
That means we trade agility for simply durability. On top of the fighters, we just keep going with this. We have gunboats.
Bombers are gonna be more tanky. I think I'm gonna like bombers.
For ships that are...
I already do like bombers. I really like the A1. It's been my daily driver for a while.
Constellation sized. We have corvettes for something like a hammerhead, right? So our hammerhead is, for us, is our anti-fighter corvette. Frigates are basically the biggest ship that players can control in the universe right now. So we're talking Idris, we're talking...
I feel like they lost their focus here, because now they're talking just about size, whereas before the archetypes were about roles. And that's not good that they're losing their taxonomy this early.
890 jumped. I know that Idris players cannot control the Idris, but
lol.
We're talking ships like the Carrack. Those are frigates. Really...
Like what? They're not on the internet? I swear that everyone watches Salty Mike, because they like talk to Salty Mike's talking points back to him. And but now it's like, oh, I didn't see the Idris videos.
Big ones, but also they will have variations in their tuning based on the brand or what the purpose of the ship is. So these are very big changes that are coming, but the main takeaway is that these archetypes are just reference frames for the type of tuning you want to give a ship. It does not mean that every ship that you have in the verse will fit a specific archetype. There are ships which are in between. For example, the Saber. Is it a medium or a light fighter? It's somewhere in between. The Cutlass has not the durability of a heavy fighter, has, however, the turret of a heavy fighter, so it's somewhere in between. So there are ships which do not fit exactly into these frames, but this is the beauty of it.
That's a funny way of saying that, like, the Cutlass has the turret of a heavy fighter. But, I mean, why didn't you just say Drake is under-armored and overgunned? Because that's the brand. I guess he's saying that in his paradigm. That's cool.
Because these ships, we can make them fit anywhere where they want. We just need to make sure that the balance between them is right. Not everything fits in a box, and it would be very boring if it did.
Precision targeting is a new way of aiming at specific parts of a ship. You get this zoomed-in picture of your target, and it allows you to paint over specific components of the ship, of your target. Cool. And it allows you to paint over specific components of the ship. So if you want to take out the thrusters, and it allows you to paint over specific components of the ship. So if you want to take out the thrusters, you simply aim towards the thrusters, and your gimbals will make sure the bullet...
Wait a second. Current velocity, GMB range after thrust remaining, decoys and noise, yes. SCM gun, so your main What is that color coding on the left there with the gun? Do you think? You know? Does this thing work? No, you can't see my eyes. It doesn't capture the overlay. Shoot. I'll have to set that up later. I mean, this looks very cool. It's very AR, but it's nice and clean too, and full screen. And the font size is big, but the lines are skinny, so it's a bit elegant. I like it. I do like it.
Lands exactly where you're aiming.
It's a big rework of the entire time.
One thing I'm wondering about now is there still splash damage with weapons? So if you hit like near, like on the wrong side.
Target system with the goal to make it not only fit master modes but also fit the problems we've had with Target in the past, which is to control the weapons and the accuracy.
Since master modes is bringing everything closer together and master modes is slowing everything down, we need to make sure that...
So what does the red mean? Because they were white here, right?
Target in the past, which is to control the weapons and the accuracy.
The type
Since
of the
master modes
damage.
bringing everything closer together and...
Or maybe it's a red ship, like it's a like it's considered red to you, like red, white, and blue.
Master modes is slowing everything down. We need to make sure that...
Oh, cool! I like the zoom. And it's very Arena Commander-y, like the damage in a number. It's very wow. It's very weird. Let's not have an outbreak right now. Precision targeting in Alpha 232.
The weapon speeds are adjusted as well.
It will reduce your fire rate. It will therefore decrease the
Therefore, no.
spread and allow you to
Decrease the spread makes sense because you're zooming, you're getting more focus.
be more precise where you hit. Good examples for that is if you want to
Why CIG? Why? You're making it too complicated. If the spread is reduced and the damage goes up, done. Why mess with the rate as well?
fire at a ship from very far away and you want to make sure that your shots hit. An even better example is if you have a light fighter and you want to help take down a larger ship. You will not be able to take down the ship by yourself. But
So, this is cool. We're effectively getting space sniping. So all you Ares and Inferno pilots in the joy.
you can help
100 times zoom. That's a lot.
other players by crippling the turrets with ballistic cannons, for example.
Oh, weird. And look, the gimbal is compensating, so you aim where you want to hit. Look how the fire is going off into the other direction. Is this a turret? I just don't know. Okay, we need to watch this again. So we're in a Gladius, so no turret.
You want to help take
We zoom in.
down a larger ship. You will not be able to take down the ship by yourself, but you
Point
can
the
help other
cursor
players by crippling the turrets
At the
with
thing we
ballistic
want to
cannons.
hit. See how it's hitting where the cursor is?
for example,
Or the cursor was when they fired?
and other subsystems. So it allows you to see better what you're
But the fire is going creep in another direction.
currently targeting.
I wonder how head tracking is going to deal with all this.
What we're doing is we're bringing all weapons into 3 archetypes. We have the anti-fighter weapons that have higher fire rate and a higher velocity that allows you to hit targets such
So they showed the repeaters. The repeaters is going to stay. The repeaters and the
as
gaslings.
a horde of gladiuses. And then
Horde
we
of
have the
gladiuses.
anti-material weapons. Anti-material weapons is the one you bring.
So that's like material, like tanks. Like in that term, like the military logo term lingo.
Bring out when you and your friends want to hunt a hammerhead. It's got the highest damage of all the weapons. You want to deal as much damage as possible.
It's funny they showed that because it looked like the Gatling as well. I don't know what that is, and the fire rate is super high.
Highest damage of all the weapons. You want to deal as much damage as possible, but the target is big and it moves slow, so you don't have to worry as much about actually hitting the target.
So in what way? Usually that's like aiming. The projectile speed usually reduces your accuracy.
Then we have unspecialized weapons, which are in between the anti-fighters and the anti-materials.
So this is better because it gives you a lot of options on how you want to attack the target.
Right, because you're making so many decisions, you don't know where you're going to fight, but you know what you're going to fly, so you just grab like a P4, the P4 of ship guns.
You can just, spray and pray that your shots are going to hit, or you can go into the precision targeting mode, see all the sub-targets that you have available, and
Did you see there that little center ring got brighter?
or you can go into the precision targeting mode, see all the sub-targets that your shots are going to hit, or you can go into the precision targeting mode, see all the sub-targets that...
No, I think it just switched on, like there were these lines that went like this. Let's try to get through this.
you have available, and then pick out which of these sub-targets you actually want to attack. Next to basically seeing what you're actually hitting, you also just get the stunning view of that big ship that you're targeting, right? Like it's a full screen, zoomed in view on your target. You can see it in all its glory. You can see all the parts you can shoot off. I think it's great.
We've been really happy with the results so far. We've seen a massive difference in the way combat works and what the players are actually doing within combat. And that's been really good to see. There's still some small things we're working on right now to kind of solve, but we're really happy, we're kind of most of the way there at the moment.
Again, give us numbers. For those of you who just joined us, when the D&D designers do the Unearthed Arcana, they put it out, and then there's a a feedback sheet, and if there's a 70% approval rating, they keep going. Then they don't rework it. If it's lower than that, they rework it. And since they're collecting stats on us, give us numbers.
The next big thing that the new aiming system has is the removal of the so-called N-1 system. That means that when you have a gimbal attached to a ship, the weapon attached to the gimbal goes down one size. At this point in time, after lots of testing, we're pretty confident that we don't want the system anymore. So in the future, if you have a size 3 gimbal on your ship, it will carry a size 3 weapon. But we're actually going further with this, because from 3.23 onwards, you will not be able to mount fixed guns on your ship anymore. In addition to that, all the turrets, however, will get gimbals. So...
Yeah, okay, a bad way of describing that. So, all guns will have gimbals except for true fixed ones, like on the Ion and the Warden and the railgun on the Idris. Because they don't gimbal, because there's no gimbal space for them, because they're integrated into the ship really solidly. But now in a Titan you won't lose. You can have your size 4 nose gun and still have it gimbaled. But it's not like free money, because when it's gimbaled the fire rate is lower, right?
This is a requirement because of precision aiming mode, because the precision aiming mode we also want to be able to use on turrets, and we need a way to make the bullets fly where we want them to fly without cheating. So this means all turrets.
Let's just watch that again.
And we need a way to make the bullets fly where we want them to fly without cheating. So this means all turrets, they will get gimbals on their gun.
Good God. So many systems of reference. Is that head tracking? It must be mouse, but there's like a lag, so everything has a speed, and it's all trying to work as fast as it can. That's kind of good. Let's hope it's just mechanical. And you sort of the turret, physical turret, will catch up and move less, and the guns will move a bit more.
So they can properly lead, but to still keep turrets more powerful in terms of their weapon employing capabilities, and also because turrets cannot just, jump on the way out of the way. The auto gimbal mode will be something that's exclusively available to turrets. So pilots will
auto gimbal exclusively available to turrets. Auto gimbal. What do you? I mean, the only manual gimbal we have is like when you're like using it for down nosing.
Still be able to manually gimbal their weapons with, either tying it to the controls or by looking around. But only turrets will be able to use the auto gimbal system, because turrets are supposed to be very, very dangerous, and so players just tying it to the pilots jump on the way out full. In terms of their weapon employing capabilities, and also because turrets cannot just, jump on the way out of the way. The auto gimbal mode will be something that's exclusively available to turrets. So pilots will still be able to manually gimbal their weapons with, either tying it to the controls or by looking around. But only turrets will be able to use the auto gimbal system.
Oh, wow. Okay. So what I'm hearing is that like gimbals the way they work right now is gone for pilots and only for turrets. And if you want to use the gimbal, you're gonna have to head track it or mouse it. Wow, that's huge.
Because turrets are supposed to be very, very dangerous. And so players just have the choice how to apply the damage the best. However, because auto gimbaling is also in assisted mode, it will...
It's not available anywhere except that it is.
come with a reduction in fire rate, just to keep things fair.
So the feedback, it has been going pretty well.
We've been really happy with working with the community who's been playing this to kind of fine-tune it and make the changes needed, and we have made a lot of changes based upon these feedback.
Most of the feedback that we've been getting has been pretty positive around Squadron Battle, where there's some pretty good group combat dynamics players are reporting positively on. There's some really cool gameplay emerging, such as how players evade now is quite different. You have to drop chaff, break your target lock, break away, like find your opportunity to break away from your pursuing ship.
What we can see at the moment is that players are very happy with Squadron Battles. Players are not very happy with the 1v1, so this is more an area where we have to improve.
Of course, there are some very detailed feedbacks about some tuning choices, how we should make some...
I mean, the other thing there is that the what is he calling it, like a scrum ball, a swarm, that's only versus AI right now. I mean, they see more than we do, but I haven't been in any good scrums in PvP. And yeah, the pirate swarm and the vandal swarms are cool because you play and then eventually you're just like, well, yeah, I can't fight 100 other ships because someone's gonna shoot me.
Type of archetypes better rather than not, but in general, it's gonna be mostly appreciated.
The players are really enjoying the different roles that we've got. The interceptors are quite successful. There's been some pretty good feedback.
Who are these players? Taffy CIG. So all of...
Around the Buccaneer, we've probably still got a little bit of work to do around the Lightfire class and 1v1s, but other than that, it's been pretty good.
It means you...
I mean, the Sweaty Dogfighter boys are really vocal in the community, and I'm not sure how I feel about it. Like, just move keep the high skill ceiling, but make it, it's like any pro thing, right? You spend $100 on a better bicycle. If it's $100 bicycle, it's a much better bicycle, but from $100 to $200. But then from $5,000 to $6,000, it's not a much better bicycle. So diminish the returns at the higher skill levels, but allow people to train themselves up. And for God's sake, give us ranks in Arena Commander.
You can stay closer. You are much more in control of staying in a closer formation with other people that you're playing.
I don't understand why formation flying is so hard right now. Decoupled gear down looks bad, but it flies nice. Gear is up in this picture, and they're in atmosphere.
When we do our regular playtests, we can actually fly in our own version of a formation, and we can track targets without being several kilometers off each other.
That's your version of a formation.
Our version of a formation is generally, if we can see each other still and we're not accidentally shooting each other, I'd consider that a good formation.
I'm not sure that's...
The functional definition. Good.
I'm not sure that's the textbook definition of formation. I can see you and not crash into you. That's not a formation, Josh.
It's a win if at least two of the four of us manage to make it away in one piece without any friendly fire incidents.
So was that a Connie?
Fire incidents.
Oh, right. Gotcha. Shooting his
So
friend.
the thing that excites me the most about Master Modes is if you just watch the footage of players dogfighting at the minute, you can really see how close all of those ships are, and it just feels so much more cinematic.
It's really about the foundation of the whole flight experience moving forward, because I fully understand that this isn't a game just about combat. We want to communicate that players who want to do combat, they'll go into the Master Mode for combat. But if you want to go from A to B, you've now got a mode where you can do that without being harassed as much. So that's good.
It's good. It's good. Making escape slightly easier, and you can decide if you want to fight or not. Very good. I have to do an ad break now. I ran out of snoozes, but I'm going to pause during it. Check out the details on how to mute the ads in my panels in the About section.
Be a big plus for the game.
It's leveling the playing field a little bit more now as we slowly...
Are we in an ad? I think we're in an ad. Hopefully. Maybe not. I don't know where it went.
breathe more life into each one of these ships, you're going to know this ship like the back of your hand.
People seem to like how much more frantic and intimate all the fights are in the Arena Commander testing that we've done so far. And I'm looking forward to hearing people's thoughts once we've rolled it out across all the ships.
Not everything that is in 3.2.3 you can see already in the Master Mode, AC mode. It's there's a lot more stuff coming, especially to 3 you can see already.
Once we've rolled it out across all the ships.
Not everything that is in 3.2.3 you can see already in the Master Mode, AC mode. It's there's a lot more stuff coming, especially to weapon treatment, how we use capacitor.
Let's see if we got ads. No, I'm so confused. Oh, we got an ad or not? I just need to stand up straighter.
Etc. But overall, based on the feedback that we got so far and also from increasing player numbers, we're pretty confident that we're on the right track. So, feedback that we got so far and also from how we use capacitors, etc. But overall, based on the feedback to
People's thoughts once we've
AC modes, it's there's a lot more stuff coming, especially to weapon treatment, how we use capacitors, etc. But overall, based on the feedback that we got so far and also from increasing player numbers, we're pretty confident that we're on the right track. So
again, it's like if you're collecting data, why are you pretty confident? This is like what flight model are we on? I don't know the game well enough, but I think at least third or second. Because there was another kind of Master Modi thing before. I don't know what it was. Kind of like the iCache story.
Master modes and the gunnery system and the whole combat experience is a huge undertaking for us, and we cannot do it without you. So we want you to play it. We need your feedback. Be honest, tell us what you don't like. Please also tell
Where? Issue Council doesn't work. Spectrum is a mess. And we don't see the numbers you collect. So how do you want the feedback, please? I love this guy. But if you're going to ask for something, let us know where. Just play the game? Is that what he's saying? Just play the game?
Tell us what you like, so we can make all this space combat game great together.
So what did we learn this week? Well, we learned that with master modes comes a rebalancing of ship performance into dedicated archetypes. That these archetypes are really where tunings start and will be grown from to ensure that each ship and vehicle...
Yeah, well, cool. I don't like Jared's humor, so I'm sorry. What I think. I think the most successful thing right now is Vandal Swarm and Pirate Swarm. Like, you get that sense of being in a ball, and that sort of Second World War, First World War, Red Baron thing is happening, and that is good because it's fun. Does a little part of me want to keep the realism? Yes. But I need feedback. Like, even just the UI for the current, like, closing distance. The most important thing, your forward velocity, is the hardest thing to see in the game. So that seems like a really bad idea, right? Like, I'm not saying they could have fixed tricording by changing the UI. I'm saying that the flight model seems to be, I don't know, it's a bit I'm trying to say that they're navel gazing, but I wouldn't go that far. Like, they know it's a game, they've got their rock, paper, scissors fine in the ship types. CIG and Star Citizen in general just has too many communities, and I love and hate that, because I love it because they're trying to be like an every game, but not an every game, like a verse, right? Like, it's more meta than meta. It's more Second Life than Second Life, minus the hair and the... I don't know, actually I haven't played Second Life in a good decade. It's good. What do y'all think? I've enjoyed master modes. I like the UI updates. I could have more on the closing distances. I want like a dial that says, like, you know, we have that number, like it's negative or positive. I want to see like a dial that says, like this side I'm closing, dead center I'm level, this side they're gaining away from me, gaining distance. And so I can do this very quickly. Like, we've got things to look at. That one's the hardest to see. I want the dogfighting to be intuitive, and I want to be also I want it to be intuitive what my ship is good at. Like, how do I learn that my forward thrust and my up thrust is stronger than everything else? How do I learn that? I need design affordances. I need it to go more and woof, more woof. You know? I think a non-realistic flight model can or any flight model can be learnt if there's affordances, design affordances that tell us what we're doing right and wrong. Oh my gosh, don't get me started. Like, currently we can't even hear when we're being shot by turrets that have been buffed super mega uber much. That drives me nuts. Anywho, that was our little view on. It seems like they're doing this alternating, like ticks. Like, every week we're either getting like a behind the scenes kind of fluffy, navel gazy, not details about features, and then we're getting hard features. So today was a hard feature glimpse of what's happening in development, and I'm cool with that. I'd rather have higher quality, less frequent, and we can all chill with the vibes the other times and get to know them. Okay, I'm gonna call it there. Goodbye.